Okay, I'm going to try and explain the standards-based grading and how the grading system works at Langham Creek High School and in my algebra class. There are going to be different categories, but the first one that, oops, let's see if I can talk through this. Let's go to the right thing. I guess I'm just flipping through everything. There we go. One of the first things that we have is called Maintaining Math Mastery. And I can't remember what the A means. It was just what the department came up with for basically standards retention, for remembering all the things, the basic skills of algebra. This is going to be 10% of your grade. Okay? And what we're going to have, like in my class, we have weekly homeworks that are all on the teacher webpage. And like for this is semester 1, week 1, semester 2, week 2, semester 1, week 3. And then there'll even be an MMA portion on quizzes and tests. All of these different grades are going to average together to give you 10% of your grade. Okay? Now, on the, like right now on the weekly homeworks, we have them on the webpage, and they are solving equations. So, for example, for grades on the equations, here is like an example. I am looking for the process. I'm trying to make sure that you students are able to show me the process, not just the final answer. So all the 10 problems have to be written neatly and step by step. For example, like in this one, I circled my like terms, put them together and got negative 1x plus 4 equals 6. I showed this minus 4 to each side. I got negative 1x equals 2. I showed the divide by negative 1 and my answer. So all of this should be shown neatly like how I've have it written out in order to receive full credit for this problem. Now, I also need to make sure that you have the right answer right there. And you students need to be double checking and using your calculator to make sure that you're answering them correctly. Remember, your steps is to press y equals in your calculator, and in y1 put the left-hand side, y2 put the right-hand side, press second graph, and you're looking to see where y1 and y2 are the same. That's those weekly homeworks. That's what I'm expecting for an A to be able to do the weekly homeworks. Now, for more details on how you're supposed to be doing this, you will go to the web, and we'll go to the Sci-Fair, and then you go to campuses, go to Langham Creek, go down here to faculty web pages. Hopefully, there we go, it works. Now you go down to my name, Christy Crawford. Here is my Epsilon webpage. Now, right here you'll see I've got information. I've got texting alerts for you to be able to get information or remindings about grades and things coming up. See over here on this tab right here that says weekly homework. Click on that. Here are the weekly homeworks right here all the way through week 16. So you can go through and have all the week's homeworks and even do them in advance. To show how I want you solving them, here are some help tutorial videos that I have made on YouTube, and the links are right here. So you have all of this to help you be able to do these. So with this grade, again, you would have gotten grades and you would have averaged them. I would have averaged them together. That's 10% of your grade. If you have messed up on the previous week's solving equations, you may go through by pulling them off of this web page and redoing them by showing me the steps. The next thing we have that is 10% of their grade, I was showing this on an example in my class, so let me go through here. For here is again the CCRS, College Career Readiness Standard. And in this, you're going to get a grade each week, and it is going to be and these grades are going to average. And in the grade program, you'll see week 1, week 2, week 3. So what I'm looking for on here, these are our rubrics that you guys will get a copy of, or if you have not gotten it already. So these are the things I'm going to be looking at. In regards to my time management, were all the deadlines met and work consistently turned in on time this week? Class time has never been wasted. That's an A for this one. Most deadlines have been met. No more than one assignment has been turned in late to class. Class time is usually spent on classwork. Okay, so you can read through, pause this and read through the questions on what you need to do for question 1 to get an A, B, and C. So I'll look at this. The second question I'll be asking is in regards to my people skills. Carrie, which one of these are you doing? You can pause that video and read all those for A, B, C, and D. The second thing, or the third thing I'm looking at, work ethic. Pause that video and go through and read this to see what I'm looking at, what my guidelines are and standards are in class. Question 4, same thing. And the last one is question 5. Okay? So these are the things that I'm looking for. So I'm going to take these 5 questions and average them together to get your weekly grade. And your weekly grade is going to be right here labeled in the grade book. And all these, week 1 through 6 in a 6 weeks, will all be averaged together for the other 10% of your grade. Now, right now, what we have 2 standards right now that we have gone through and done, okay, on our first test. We have standard Algebra 1A and Algebra 1B. So the idea behind standards-based grading is if you have failed any one of these standards, then you are not passing, and you will not pass the 6 weeks until you pass that standard. So for example, on standard A, let's see if I have the standards up. There we are. The standards that you students were given was here. Standard Algebra 1A is functions and independent relationships. Here, and this is on my website as well, and I'll show you where in just a second. So it says, it tells you what you need to be able to do to get an A, B, C, or D for this standard. Then there is standard Algebra 1B. These standards, and there's a bottom portion down here where you'll be able to see all the standards here pretty soon, where you can pull it up off the website. So here are the requirements to pass standard Algebra 1B. Now, so for example, say that you got your test back and you're going to see that maybe you failed standard A, but maybe you got a D on standard B. Well, right now, you are failing the 6 weeks because you have an F in standard 1A. So now you're going to have to go and look at, what are my standards in 1A? What is it that I need to be able to do? You need to be able to tell if a relation is a function or not. And you need to be able to tell the difference between independent and dependent relationships. Maybe on your test you were able to do the functions but not the independent and dependent. What you're going to do to be able to reassess, because you are able to reassess to raise these to passing grades and even a higher grade here on Part B. You will not be retaking the same test. You will be given a different type of assessment so that I see if you have mastered the standards. What you are going to have to do, whoops, let me go through here. The first thing you're going to have to do is 1, for this, and this is only true of Unit 1. I'm going to talk about what it'll be after this. For Unit 1, just starting into the 6 weeks, or for for the foundations, I guess we're calling it Foundations of Functions Part 1. Foundations of Functions Part 1. You are going to have to, 1, be able to bring your graded test to reassessment day. To the reassessment. Okay, because I need to be able to see what you missed and what you got right. Second, for just this one, you are going to have to complete both review videos. And 3, then you're going to come to the reassessment. And those dates will be posted, and the students will know when those are. All right, so where do you find these review videos? Well, again, let's go back to that Epsilon page that I have here. If I go in here, let's turn off my writing utensil. Here's my home page. Here it says Foundations of Functions. First off, let me point out, here's the 6 weeks calendar. The standards to see them in depth is right here at this link. Here is your worksheets and the videos that go over it. But if you go down here, see where it says More Unit Review on YouTube? You must do these 2 videos, writing down everything I do and going through the reviews. And these 2 things is what you will bring into me along with your test to be able to come in and reassess. You must have both completed videos for this first unit to be able to reassess. So now when you reassess, did I put it back there? There we go. Now when you reassess, say you go in here and maybe you just raise this to a D, or no, maybe you can raise it to a C. Okay? You could raise it up to a C. From here, now the C, the D, and whatever you got here, maybe this was a B, maybe this was an A. So now these things, like this is 10%, 10%, and then these weighted these categories will all weight into average to get your 6 weeks average. Now we will have a few more into our standards for the 6 weeks, but if these were the grades that were taken here at progress reports, that's the way they would do their grades. Okay? Now, say for example, the next question would be, well, Ms. Crawford, what if I got a B on these standards and I wanted to get an A? To be able to reassess like this, to be able to raise to an A, let's look here on, again, the Epsilon page. It has standards-based grading. Okay, let's open this. Hopefully this opens. Nope, let's see here. Let's try. Do you want to open it? Yes, we do. Well, golly gee, it doesn't want to open for me right now. So let's see what's going on. See if that'll help me. Oh, there we go. This talks about Langham Creek's policy update for reassessing. And it talks about level 3 is a B, is basically what it's talking about. So in this, for those students, the maximum score, let's see, because our goal is to have all students learn enough to show academic readiness for a course to be successful for the EOC, will need to be consistently perform at a 3 level. So only those students who score below a 3 will be eligible to reassess a reassessment assessment or test. The focus here is to relearn and then retest. The maximum score a student can receive on a second attempt is an 80. Students who recess or either show no new learning or want to improve their grade may submit a project that will serve as evidence of additional learning, such as an essay report, video, or a mock test presentation. Students may self-select a project to showcase their learning. The students will not receive a grade on the product itself, but a grade on the level of learning that the product shows. Student may be asked to explain the product to clarify level of understandings. Teachers may provide a list of general options for each content area. Each content is different. Okay, so you can go through and read through this. You will have to go through and submit a project that will show us that you understand these concepts. Okay, we need this to go away for me. So that you'll have to do that if you have the B and you want the A. And then when you come in, then there will be additional questions in order to show me mastery of these topics. And you will have to look at these standards, do some research, and look it up and figure out something that will show me evidence of better, higher learning in order to raise this grade up to an A. So the highest on the other reassessments can be up to a B, but to go from a B to an A on a reassessment, you must do a project and then come in and show me the project and explain it to me. And then I will ask you a few other further questions to go from a B to an A. But the other reassessment stuff is just from raising your grade up to a B. Now, in the future, on the remaining from Foundations of Functions, Part 2, and beyond, and after that, to be able to reassess, you must bring in the test, bring in graded test, all assignments, in the unit must be completed. And brought in. Then you will do the reassessment on a given day. Okay, so from here on out, you'll have to bring in your graded test. All assignments must be completed and brought in, and then you'll be able to do the reassessment. So now, if you look over here, again on Foundations of Functions, Part 2 right here, again, standards, the calendar. I have the assignments with the YouTube videos making it easier to do these assignments and pull them up. Not all of them will have all the assignments done on the YouTube. These are extra ones. There's some extra things in there to help you. And then more test review. Now, the more test review, these aren't the assignments you have to have done, but these are the extra things to help you. You do have to have all of these assignments that are here in red all done and completed with the test to be able to reassess. I hope this makes it a little bit easier to understand. The idea is not a got you on the grades. We are trying to make sure that you master the topics and the standards to be successful in Algebra 1 and to pass the end of course exam. I do highly suggest right here there are EOC review materials. As these links continue, I've got a lot of videos on there and resources. I do suggest, like on my homepage right here, that you sign up for the texting alerts. Now this right now is just for the 2012-2013 year. This will change in the future, but you'll be able to look on my webpage to be able to find those texting alerts. If you have any questions, please email me. Right here is my email address up at the top, and I will try and answer those questions for you.